Hey everybody, thought I would give a quick follow-up to my pond update, and what I'm trying to get from here, and I'm not sure I'll be able to zoom in quite enough, but first off, the pond's really starting to clear up some, and while it's not clear, but it's not the same chocolate milk look that we had before. But what's really neat is, hopefully I can find it on here. You might be able to see some schools of minnows coming up to the top. I can see some coming up. They're in little clumps, probably about 10 to 15 of them. I threw some catfish food that floats on top of the water out, which I do pretty much every time I come out here, and I've seen a lot of action on the top of the water this time, where I will see, a lot of times I'll see little circles develop from underneath. That tells me fish are hitting it, but they were pretty aggressive this time. So hopefully, there we go. There, now we got some. See those? That's a nice school of, I believe, minnows there. And of course, I've stocked bluegill. I've stocked Redear. And I've actually done a couple of different stockings of all that. So I'm eager to see how many that I stocked late last spring, early summer made it through the winter. And this water level of where it is right now has been pretty consistent even through the winter, which surprised me. I was worried that we've been in a drought. But I put about 10 pounds of minnows in about a month ago. So look at those guys. I mean, I think you can still see them, and they're coming right in the top. So that is great to see that they're still there. They've survived the first month. Hopefully that's a good sign. I put in from a bait shop today about 5 dozen minnows today, and as well. And so I put them in back over here around where that cedar is. That's where I dropped them off. And I would imagine they stayed in that part of the tank, but we'll see. But you can see, hopefully you can still see. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. I'm a little tight there. I got to get out a little bit further. So you can see all those fish swimming right underneath there. So of course I can't tell what in the world they are right now, but the fact that they're fish makes me happy. In addition to that, I've got a ton of frogs, bullfrogs out here. I say a ton, I don't know, but there's one. Boy, he's sitting there, and every time I walk up, I'll hear him squeak and head in. So it's kind of funny. And there's some turtles in here now. There's another bullfrog right. Let's see if I can find him. I'm zoomed in real tight right there. That's a bullfrog sitting there. And like I said, there are several of them in here already. But among that debris that you kind of see in the shade and then out, there are those catfish pellets that I tossed out earlier today when I came out. And every time I come out to the place, I'll do that just to supplement a little. I do not have a feeder at this point. Maybe something I do at some time, just to make sure everything's maintaining a food supply. But with the water getting a little more tinge of green, it tells me that there's phytoplankton. Oh, there's another school right. Let's see if I can find them. There's another school of minnows or something right there. Let's see. It's hard for me to see on my screen. I'm a little too shallow. But anyway, there's another one. But that tells me there's phytoplankton that's happening in the pond, and that's good. And so there's sunlight penetrating down there, and that would be good for vegetation in the pond as well. So yeah, right now I've got some minnows schooling right here. I've got another group there, and I got another group over here. So we've got 3 groups happening now. 4. I just saw a 4th one. So there's a lot of fish activity happening, and it's kind of nice to be able to see it for a change. So trying to get it where you guys can see it. But all right, well, I appreciate you watching, and it's exciting. The pond is continuing to develop. I'm working on the erosion control today in part, and I also we had a couple of geese out here last couple weeks ago when I was here the last time, and So that tells me one of them was probably not feeling its best, but they're not here today, so they have moved on, and probably, you know, that's just nature. And I always heard that if in their migration, if a goose becomes tired or something happens, they need to drop down, that a kind of a wingman will go with them and things. So that's what I observed. There were just 2 of them out here, so that was kind of neat to see. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm still trying to zoom in a little bit so you can see several schools of fish are popping up, and I'm assuming it's minnows, but hopefully it's some of the bluegill and red ear and things of this nature are taking hold and doing well in this pond. So thanks, and we'll post an update rather soon.